The Vols are back.
Can't kill it. Can't kill it. Go.
They waiting outside. They flooding the gates, I'm flooding the wrist. Like, no, I ain't got it. Stormy and Scott. It used to like when he got my brothers with me. We lighting the city on fire. Protect my Achilles, cause they tryna kill me, but I never been so alive. Yeah. Whiplash, whiplash, we get whiplash, we get so loud. Whiplash, 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 all night. We get whiplash, all night, all night, all night.
Runner. Drip her out in Bulgari, and she know she bad. I'm like Clyde, she like Bonnie. I came from the bottom, please don't ask me what it took. I got demons in my past, but my angels keep on shook. Man down, I can't hear a sound. Walk out on your block, I hear silence and it's loud. Man down, me a rider, raise a toast. Tryna shadow ban my boy, but you can't kill a ghost.
Oh, yeah. It's time again, baby. It's time again for another grand old show. By the way, as you can tell by this graphic, that is most certainly Tennessee. Okay, without further ado, let's get this show started. Oi, fellow comrades. It is Squidtard here with my boys, Mr. Lucas Sharp and Mr. Julio Rodriguez, and welcome to episode 228 of the Vol Star Podcast. One day in the near future, we will hit episode 98, and it'll be very, very enjoyable. But until then, here we are. Only 70 more episodes to go till the golden number. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing good. How about y'all?
Doing phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good today. I'm doing pretty good.
Take a look at that.
Yes, sir. Tennessee.
That is
why can I not put it right? There we go.
That is some goated merch right there.
Tennessee, the world WWE champions.
Yeah, might as well be. Yeah. Before the show, you talked about getting a Titans one, but I like I told you, I think that one's more valuable.
Yeah, this one's the more cool because it's an actual like replica of the WWE championship belt.
Yeah, and unlike the Titans, Tennessee actually has championships. I will continue to throw strays at the Titans until they give me a reason not to. Okay. Well, anything special going on with you guys on this day, on this week?
Nothing much. I've just been catching up on Demon Slayer because I'm going to go watch the new movie on the 24th.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I've just mostly been just doing schoolwork and actual work, and I have to find a suit because I have to go to a wedding because I'm one of the grooms because the guy that's getting wed is my cousin and he wanted me to be one of the grooms for his wedding.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing how that pans out. Yeah. And I have to look for a suit as well. In fact, I think I already have one. It's not technically a suit, but it's more of a costume that I'll be wearing when I attend the Slob Olympics. That being not this week, but next weekend from March 1st through the 3rd. If you aren't going to the Slob Olympics, I think you are missing out if you're a part of this community. A lot of great people are going. Of course, I'm driving down there with my boys, Big Vol Daddy and Law Tide. So throughout the weekend, I will probably be unavailable unless you are actually there attending. So, yeah. Anyway, if this is your first time being here over here at the Vol Star Podcast, welcome. We are not official. We are not affiliated with the University of Tennessee. We are just big-time Tennessee Vols fans over here. And if you aren't a Vol fan, well, first of all, ha, 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 ha. Secondly, you don't have to be a Vol fan in order to watch the show. And we've let, we have let different fan bases come on here. We had a South Carolina fan on here at one point, a Florida fan, a Georgia fan. We have a great time on here every single week, every single Monday, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So tune around and stick around while you're at it. And we'll have a great time here. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on here. We got a lot to talk about today. Let's go ahead and start out with just some Vol news updates. We got some pretty big ones this week. In fact, both of these came earlier today. First off, I'd like to go ahead and say, bring this up. Tennessee has hired Cincinnati running back coach Darrell Sims. And, Cincinnati ranked 5th in rushing last season. And so to get another great running back coach over here at Tennessee with what I think is going to be a really good running back class is very, very, very good to have. What are you guys' thoughts?
Yeah, I think it looks good. Like on paper, I mean, you never, because having the same success as Cincinnati. I mean, especially now, I think they're Big 12 now, so I think it says a lot more about it now that it's in a Power 5 conference. But you never know, like how stuff like that could, just because they succeed at Cincinnati doesn't mean they'll probably succeed here. But I think more likely that he should succeed here, mostly because we have a good running back room. And, he's got a track record of success, at least as, I think so, if I remember correctly. I mean, he got Cincinnati top 5 rushing. And, I mean, Cincinnati was probably one of the bottom, I would say, more lower tier Big 12 teams this year. So,
well, to get him on the staff over here at Tennessee is a very nice thing to have. Along with that, we also have another hire, this one on the defense. Tennessee bringing in from Alabama, who was brought in from Washington. These coaches are hitting the transfer portal like crazy. But anyway, William Inge, whichever you want to call it, he is now the new linebacker coach over here at Tennessee. So another huge pickup, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that pans out. On top of that, I'm looking forward to seeing the absolute outrage from the Gump man. That's always enjoyable. It can't get enough of that.
Was he at Alabama? I thought he was still at Washington.
Yeah, he was at Alabama for like a month or two.
Not even that. I think he went there February 2nd, and then
was he at the same position?
Yeah,
because I couldn't remember. That's what I thought. I was making sure.
Yeah,
was he Washington?
Was
he Washington's defensive coordinator or like their co-defensive coordinator?
I think he was co-defensive coordinator because I know a bunch of those coaches kind of went their separate ways afterwards. After the Kalen DeBoer went to Bama, and most of them followed him, but including Mr. William Inga here. But now he has decided to join the good guys and join Tennessee, and I'm sure that that makes Bama fans very, very angry. This is what you get for. Yeah, I mean, you told me when Henry To'oTo'o went to Alabama, oh, these things just happen, Squidtard. Well, these things just happen, Gumper. Okay, well, anyway, that's what's going on. So 2 new additions to the Tennessee coaching staff. Can't get enough of that. We love it, and that's all there is to it. So love that. Definitely love that.
It had escaped my mind that Jerry Mack had left until I realized that we had, hired a new one. I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Right, and I should have mentioned that on the show. That's partly my bad. I see Mr. TriStar is here. Henry 2222. You are true about that. Cannot disagree. All right, then. Well, that's pretty much all of the big news for Tennessee. We got some other people here. Mr. Ian the Hyper. What's going on, buddy? Glad to see you coming in here, as well as Mr. Andrew the Textbook. So glad to see both of you guys here as well. So that's pretty much all the Vol news. Now, that's before we get into all the sports stuff. And you'll see that coming up as we get into some Lady Vols talk. Well, they lost to South Carolina.
Oh, no.
They all
the end of the world.
Man, they was actually playing pretty well, though.
Mm-hmm. They were having a really good game all the way up till the end.
Like, where was that all season? Like, come on.
I can't tell you. It was a great game. Now, Tennessee fans are trolling the Twitter page because they said fought for 4 quarters but came up short, and everybody said fought for 3 quarters and died in the fourth. So, of course, if Tennessee's not the best team in all of college sports, then fire Kelly Harper. Okay, I'll let you guys talk. Sorry.
I was really looking forward to doing the chicken dance on here if Tennessee won.
I will say this. It's kind of weird with Kelly Harper because I feel like she's so close to getting it, but then she'll almost beat someone like South Carolina, and then she'll go and shit the bed against a clearly inferior opponent that we should blow out. And then we'll face a team that we shouldn't beat, and then we'll beat them.
Well,
And it's like, what are you doing? Why are you so inconsistent?
right. Well, thankfully, that crappy opponent you just mentioned is not Vandy because Tennessee, the Lady Vols wiped the floor with them 86-61. So thankfully, they took care of business against our hated rivals.
Yeah, we just own South Carolina. We just own Vanderbilt, man.
We also beat them pretty bad in the men's, didn't we? Wasn't it like 88-53 or something like that?
Yeah, it was over when the ball was tipped off. Like,
the
men's game we just absolutely dominated them.
This is some bold talk by Matty Sims here. First of all, what's going on, buddy? Glad to see you here. But he says Tennessee is not an everything school. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just going to say right now we're more of an everything school than Alabama right now.
That is true, though. But yep. By the way, this stream, the Volstar podcast, is not sponsored by Polk County. Just want everybody to know that.
Also, I don't know if y'all know who Vol Moose is on Twitter.
Oh, I know.
He needs to get down from the cliff. We'd lost one baseball game. We're going to be okay.
Like, man, Vol Moose, man.
Like, we'll lose a game. He's like, oh, my God, he's so horrible. It's like, bro, get off the cliff. Come back.
What?
Just come over here. Calm down. We lost one game.
I think I've seen him before, but I don't really know him. But I have seen a lot of Tennessee fans doing the sky is falling, everything is falling down. The baseball team sucks because we lost one game. So we'll play and talk about that.
I don't know. Oklahoma's not a bad team. They literally made the national championship a few years ago. So, I mean, it's not a bad loss.
Yeah, that was the year we had the best baseball team in the country before we faced Notre Dame. And the thing was, Tennessee outscored the two teams that played in the national championship by like, what was it? We had scored them like 40-7 or something like that in the regular season, and we couldn't get past Notre Dame. It's like, oh God.
I mean, I don't know. In these kind of sports like basketball or baseball, it just matters how you play in the big tournament. Like basketball, it don't matter how you play until March, and then for baseball, it don't matter how you play until like June or May.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like for example, Oregon State also had a similar season of what Tennessee did that year, where what were we like 53-9 or something like that. But Oregon State was like 56-6 going into that season, like going into what was it, the Super Regionals, and they got swept in the Super Regionals and lost 2 back-to-back games. They were like 56-4 going into that.
Yeah, 2 great teams though.
And I mean that's what I'm saying is like both that Oregon State team of the mid 2010s, I think, like 2000 some, and that Tennessee team were both great teams. But they had the 1 seed, and here's the thing: the 1 seed don't mean anything in baseball. It don't. Like the 1 seed hasn't won the baseball national championship since Miami in like 1998, or I think it's.
I like that number.
I think it's 1998. You can look it up, but I know it was Miami. It was like 98, 99, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the last time a 1 seed won the tournament.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, this guy Squidtard, he says yes, Tennessee is an everything school, and I agree with him. By the way, I think y'all should go subscribe to that guy. Does great content.
No, I don't think you should subscribe to him.
Yeah, we won't take that here.
I was confused for a second. I was like, wait, why'd Lucas disappear?
Yeah. Why did he leave? I don't know. But yeah, I create some great content over there. Not to toot my own horn here. You guys aren't here to hear me say that, but we are really, really close. And I mean, maybe just a couple of like less than 100 subscribers away from hitting that big 5K number. And I've got a great thing planned once we hit that. So go ahead, if you haven't already, hit up Squidtard and go subscribe. Because we are very, very close to hitting that phenomenal 5K.
Yo,
anyway,
I was just gonna say, if you hit up Squidtard's channel, make sure you check out his Norm of the North video. Is actually pretty funny.
My movie reaction video. I don't plan on doing too many more of those. YouTube's not too happy with me for that one. They instantly demonetized it for copyright, but nothing you can do to stop that. It just happens. Andrew the Textbook says, just as the portal giveth, it taketh away. That could be, that couldn't be a more truer statement, in my opinion. Moose isn't nearly as much of a Negaval as Paul the Vol. By the way, that says Negaval. Just so we're clear on that. But Paul told me that he thinks that Hyper will be fired in 5 years. What? Huh?
Wait, did Paul really say that?
I don't even know.
I mean, I know who Paul is. I've had him in a couple spaces, but I've never heard him say that.
I mean, yeah, I've never heard him say that.
I know I got into an argument with him about the Evan Stewart thing, and I said the only reason we wouldn't take Evan Stewart is that we weren't going to spend, what was it, like $1 million and some dollars on a wide receiver.
I mean,
especially with the wide receivers we have coming in. Like, why would we do that?
I mean, I do think like Paul can be sometimes negative, but I do agree with some of his takes at times. But yeah. Moose, man, I think he's more negative than Paul, honestly. Like every single time we lose, he's like, "Oh, Tennessee's losing out the rest of the season. We're not winning anything."
Maddie, I'm going to plead the fifth on that one.
Yeah. So here's the thing, though, is that I got a news for most of the people in here. 99% of teams, 99.9% of teams every year don't win the national championship. Even if you're like the best team all season, like for example, I don't think UConn's going to win the national championship in basketball this year. They're clearly right now the best team in college basketball. But here's the thing about UConn. They always have a run about every 5 to 10 years where they dominate the NCAA tournament, and then they turn around the next year and dominate the regular season. Do you know what happens to UConn? They almost always get eliminated in the Sweet 16 around the Sweet 16 or Elite 8.
Big if true. Year. Big if true. I have to say about that.
Now, maybe they'll prove me wrong this year. Maybe they'll go back-to-back, for the first time in their men's program history. But I'm just not seeing it. Like, I just don't see it. Like, it's extremely hard to go back-to-back. The last team to go back-to-back,
it was Florida.
It was Florida. Yeah.
Yeah, like, was it like 07, 08 or something like that?
I think it was 06, 07. I think it was the Billy Donovan years.
But yeah, I'd honestly be shocked if UConn didn't win it all this year in basketball. They're playing really good right now. And
probably,
I know I said like it don't matter how you play until March, but it seems like they are not letting off any steam at all.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Maybe they'll prove me wrong, but I'm just saying, like, how many times have we seen a team, practically steamroll their way through the regular season for the most part, and then get to March and then they can't hit anything. They couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat.
Excuse me. I had something really deep in my throat, sinus infection. TriStar. When you go down to Panama City, can you buy me a cake? Dude, you act like Bojangles. Panama City's the only place that has Bojangles. Does that even? Come on, man. If you're gonna do that, then at least name a place that's specific to Panama City. You can go down like next to your whichever Dollar General's in Polk County and find a Bojangles.
Did they not have Bojangles in East Tennessee?
Oh,
yes,
they
do. But there's one
Okay.
5 minutes away from where I live. There's got to be at least 12 of them in Polk County.
Yeah, there's like 3 minutes away from where I live.
Well, see, I was just asking that because, like I said, I live not too far from Cookville, and we have a Bojangles down there, and I was like, just like people. Like it took forever for us to get a Bojangles.
And I would be honest, Polk County sounds like a place where everywhere you look has its own neighborhood Dollar General. So in my mind, there's got to be a Bojangles somewhere close. Yeah. Okay. Where are we at? Let's see. We got to talk about the men's basketball team. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
So they won.
Yeah, that's what
twice.
we were talking about before.
Yeah. They went undefeated since our last show, 2-0, beat Arkansas 92-63, and then put the whooping on Vandy 88-53. Everybody putting the whooping on Vandy as of lately. Shocker, I know. Crazy. Absolutely stunning.
I'm just happy we didn't lose to Arkansas, especially on Valentine's Day.
Well, also, speaking of Vandy, did y'all see that they lost to Florida Atlantic in baseball?
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Look, the title of this stream is Tennessee's in everything school. Vandy really may be, they may be a nothing school.
Bowling. They got bowling.
They have women's bowling, Squidtard.
Well, I'm sure whichever group of 5 organization they'll be in 5 years from now will greatly appreciate that. Maddie Sims, when you go down to Panama City, can you buy me all-star breakfast and a covered order of hash browns? I don't know. You may have to come down here and pick it up.
But yeah, speaking of basketball, man, USF. I know this is a Tennessee show, but man, USF, they need to put some more respect on the Bulls. It seems like ever since Alex Golish has went down to USF, not only has he turned around their football program, he's turned around the whole entire athletics department.
It's that Danny White effect, man. Wherever they go, they make differences happen. And even though Alex Golish ain't no athletic director, he's playing like it. They're one. So shout out to him.
He was the one that gave Nate Oates his first big time coaching job at Buffalo.
Oh yeah, baby. USF may be a playoff team. I don't know. Maybe it is possible. I'm not saying anything, but it's
no. I was talking about Danny White was the one that gave Nate Oates his first big coaching job, not USF.
Oh.
He gave it at Buffalo. It was at Buffalo.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
But yeah, hot take: USF will be the best Group of 5 team in football next year.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You're going to
38 for spring break in 3 weeks. Heck yeah, Maddie. Wish you came down to Panama City during the slub so I could meet you because I never got the chance to, which that's a big old bummer. I wasn't down for the softball game. We'll have to pick out a time for that in the future. So we already touched on the baseball team. And, well, of course, unfortunately, unlike the men's basketball team, they did not go undefeated this week. They lost to Oklahoma 1-5. They beat Texas Tech and Baylor, but everyone's choosing to kind of, miss out on that in the celebration because they lost one game. So the sky's falling. They're only going to win like 2 games this year. It's the downfall of the athletic. We have a tendency as a fan base to overreact about any sort of loss, or not even a loss, just any sort of adversity in this program. So it's no shocker here that suddenly people are losing their minds for losing one game, and that's not even a conference game. So, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I can understand, of course, being upset, of course, losing a game in football because there's only like 12 games in the regular season. In basketball, I can understand being upset in that when we lose, especially if it's like to a bad team. But baseball, there's like 60 plus games in the regular season. And literally, there hasn't been a team that's gone undefeated in baseball in a very long time. Or I don't even know if ever. So we're eventually going to slip up at one point. Like I said earlier, it doesn't matter how good we play now. It matters how good we play in May and June.
That is true. Definitely true. Sorry to hear that you got some personal stuff going on, TriStar. Unfortunately, you won't be able to make it. Hopefully that gets settled in the near future. And, of course, Maddie Sims, you mainly went to meet C-Dog and D4. Well, hopefully one day we get the opportunity to meet your boy Squidtard. But yeah, anyway, yeah, the baseball team, I'm expecting some big changes in the future. I think they'll get on their stride pretty soon. They looked pretty good in the Baylor game, and I'm looking forward to actually seeing them in conference play. Hopefully, they'll get things settled and under control.
Also, here's another thing you got to keep in mind. That's also on an MLB stadium, which is a lot bigger than their regular college baseball stadium.
Right. That is true.
I know an Arkansas fan like was making fun of Tennessee when we hit like a home run in the stadium. There was like Tennessee getting home runs in short fields as always. Yet that stadium is
that's literally an MLB field. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, it's 250 to right though." Literally, most fields are 250 to right.
Yeah, you want to get him a binky and some Kleenex with that?
Yeah, Arkansas fans have to be some of the dumbest people, especially when it comes to baseball.
Yeah, I don't know why they're suddenly so loud when baseball season rolls around. I mean, like, I get it. You aren't all that good in football, and your basketball team's kind of on and off every so often. So I hear that the baseball team is just suddenly. I mean, I guess it's not too much of a shocker. They've always been kind of like this, but like, get over yourself. You sound like Ohio State fans right now.
Well, you know the crazy thing is though, like if you look at like Tennessee and Arkansas's baseball history, we were practically the same like baseball history wise before Dave Van Horn got to Arkansas. We were practically the exact same program. I think we had the exact same number of like super regionals and like NCAA tournament appearances. Like we were practically just inverse of each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually kind of funny, but I just thought I should bring that up because, like, they're blue blood, but like they've been good for like the past like 10 years or so.
Yeah, as Maddie puts it, Arkansas fans are so insufferable in every sport outside of football. Most hostile fan base online. I can't agree with that Arkansas fans are the most hostile fan base. It just so happens that during some points throughout the year, specifically during baseball, as Lucas put it, they just tend to be just big babies.
Yeah, I don't really hate Arkansas fans. Like, I can get along with them in like during football and basketball season, but when it comes to baseball season, I'm on with them.
It's like when Kentucky fans just suddenly get loud during January. After the football seasons come to a close and their basketball teams their basketball team beats a bunch of nobodies and they think they're elite. And then they lose to Tennessee again, and then suddenly, the binkies, Kleenex, you get the whole ordeal.
But yeah, another thing I want to touch on with the baseball team, we need to try to find like a Sunday starter, because what was the guy's name we put out for Sunday? Julio, do you remember?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Oh yeah, I can remember. Seacrest is his last name. I can just remember that.
was Xander Seacrest.
Yeah, Xander Seacrest. But yeah, he didn't really play that well in the Baylor game. But Nate Snead though, he started off slow, but he picked up the pace. He was hitting he wasn't hitting the zone early, but then he started to find the zone and was like striking Baylor out like left and right. It was awesome.
Well, see, Xander Seacrest was originally going to be, I think, the midweek dude until Chase Burns left for Wake Forest.
Yeah, and I know a lot of Tennessee fans are upset about Chase Burns, but here's the thing, though. Chase Burns, he did better as a closer than he did a starter, and Tony Vitello saw that, and he was going to make him a closer, and then Chase Burns didn't like that because he wanted to be a starter. So that's basically why he left to go to Wake Forest.
Mm-hmm. Right. And yeah, Ryan Seacrest is a baseball player, Tennessee baseball player.
Funny thing is, Ryan Seacrest is actually a huge Georgia fan. He's a huge Georgia fan because he's from Georgia. Just thought I should mention that. I always think that's kind of funny because you would not think like he's not big into football or something.
This is my general reaction to that information. All right. Anyway, let's check back in. I got to see some of these comments. Yeah. I want to say we're hostile, say cocky and arrogant. Well, you won't have to wait too long for that to sort of shut down. There's still going to be some arrogant Alabama fans. That's always kind of how it's been. But my expectation is that once Kalen DeBoer loses a football game, a bunch of these bandwagoners are going to hop on whichever fan base is cool and good and the whole ordeal. Yeah,
Probably Georgia or someone like that.
yeah, great. Then we get to deal with that all over again. I already had to see it. I remember when I've talked about it plenty of times, but of course Georgia fans were all up on me right after they won that Natty in 2021. And then after that, it was just continuous pain all the way up until they lost the SEC championship. And then, of course, you already know the story. Like a fart in the wind, they were never there to begin with. It was phenomenal. What's going on, Mr. Yes, sir? Glad to see you're here. I always love doing that. Yeah. All right. So we finally get to talk about this a little bit. We talked about the basketball teams, talked about baseball. How about the softball team? They've been kind of, up and down. Unfortunately, they took 2 L's over this week. Now they were to 2 top 10 teams, Stanford and Texas, but because they lost, everybody's overreacting, saying that the softball team ain't even going to make it to the championship and all that. And the ordeal.
We're definitely going to make the tournament more than likely. And we'll probably at least make the Super Regional or Women's College World Series, probably. People need to calm down.
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest here, we probably know who's going to win the Women's College Softball World Series. We know who's going to win it. Let's stop acting like we don't. It's going to be Oklahoma. They went 59-1 last year.
I don't know about that. South Carolina lost to LSU last year in the women's tournament, so you can't guarantee that.
No. I was talking about softball.
No, I get what you're saying. I'm just making a comparison.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying. But Oklahoma's like practically on a different level. Like really, the only team they lost to last year was Baylor last year. But here's the thing: Baylor beat them by 1 run. And like extra innings, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And then like every other game, Oklahoma practically trounced everybody for the most part, except for a couple games, which I think was like the Oklahoma State game, the Oklahoma State series, and of course they beat Baylor 2 out of 3. So
right.
Other than that, they practically trounced over everyone, and like it wasn't really even close until like they got to the postseason, and even then, it wasn't even really close.
Well, stick around. My expectation is that they're not going to win it this year, so stick around for that one to play out. Maybe I'll be wrong and they'll win it again, but just because a team looks unbeatable doesn't mean that they won't lose. That's what sports are all about.
I know. I'm just saying that, like, if I had to put money on it, that's who I would put on it. Like, you wouldn't get much.
Now, if one of the players on that team starts dating Taylor Swift, then maybe I'll agree with you because, for obvious reasons. But other than that, yeah, no. College sports, there's a big uncertainty with that.
See, the funny thing is that whenever I was watching the Super Bowl, whenever I was watching it and they got down to like the red zone, and I saw whenever the Chiefs got down to the red zone, I said they're going to call a fake here. I said they're going to call a trick play and they're going to score and win this. I said that to my uncle and he was like, "Oh, you think so?" I was like, "Yeah, it's Andy Reid. Of course he's going to call a trick play here." I said, "Watch, it's going to be a touchdown." Next play, trick play, touchdown. Mm-hmm. I was like, I just know this team too much.
Yeah. Well, it'll be nice to see Tennessee go on to win a natty. I'll say that much. And then finally, the last sport we'll talk about on here, and I'm glad it was actually Lucas that brought this up to me before we started the show, but the hockey team, how about them? 2024 South champions. Once again, listen to this. A story as old as time. There's 3 things certain in life: death, taxes, Tennessee owning Clemson in every single sport imaginable. We beat them 4-1 in hockey. And yeah, another big win for Tennessee. And they are, big time trophy to wield for Tennessee, South champions. So looking forward to seeing how that pans out. Now, Lucas, correct me if I'm wrong, but don't they play a few more games this season? Okay, I thought so.
Yeah, they do. They get to play for nationals now.
Yeah, all right. That's right. Chicago Blackhawks owning the Nashville Predators. Dang. Another stray at one of Lucas's teams. You can't escape it.
I don't really watch hockey that much, but
yeah. Well, it's a Nashville team, so you can't escape the wrath of agony.
Oh my! No, TriStar, no.
What'd he say this time?
Oh
I can't put that comment.
Yeah, don't show that. Don't.
But yeah,
can you at least type it in the thing to what he said?
No,
the private chat.
Yeah.
Can't you see? Oh, I guess you can't see the comments. Oh well. Well, I guess kind of figure it out on your own.
I'll tell you what he said after the show.
Because I can't put it up there. I probably can. I don't think anything's gonna happen, but I honestly I could say it's in relevance to South Carolina, but I can't.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But that's all we pretty much have to talk about today. By the way, in case anybody's curious, I didn't mention this today. I don't really like mentioning this all too much, but there's a PayPal in the description, and my incentive for donations is, of course, other than being a nice and caring person, unless if you're supporting the Patreon, maybe I'll have some bonus perks in the future. For every single dollar I get in donations at the end of every single stream, I will be doing one push-up for every dollar I receive. So if I get $50 in donations, I will sit right here on the floor or lay right here on the floor or whatever I'll do. And I will do 50 push-ups. I may lose my arms in the process like I did the last time I tried it, but I will go through with it. Now, if somebody, if Mr. Beast comes on here and donates, 10 grand, I can't promise that I'll do 10,000 push-ups on one live stream. That'll have to happen over the course of multiple live streams. But that's it. There's your incentive for donations. So we'll see how that goes.
Did y'all see the new trailer for the NCAA football game?
Yeah, and it really wasn't much of a trailer. It was more of just some guy saying, "Hey, we're making a game."
Yeah, but still, we got some close lookups, and they showed Neyland Stadium.
They showed their design of Neyland Stadium. I mean, they showed the designs of the uniforms. They haven't really confirmed anything other than the dynasty modes and all of that. Just kind of what we've been expecting out of the new NCAA game. We don't get a real trailer until May.
I'm gonna be so sad if it's just Madden.
What, with college teams?
I mean, of course.
Point,
I mean, here's the thing. Of course, I'm gonna buy it for the first year, but here's the thing. After that, if it's just Madden or whatever, then I'm not gonna buy it. Like, I literally haven't bought a Madden since Madden. I want to say Madden 16.
Yeah, Madden 16 was probably the last good Madden.
And
I think that's the last Madden I bought. Actually, was Madden 16.
Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you, TriStar? Conference realignment.
Please, no.
You're gonna start up another space, talk about conference realignment.
And Matty Sims, yes, if you drop in 43 cents, I will do 43 a 43rd% of a push-up.
How do you even do 43rd% of a push-up?
I guess you just go down kind of halfway and then go back up again and call it a day. I guess that's what you'd have to do in that situation.
Yeah.
So if I get 43 cents, then that's exactly what I'll do. Unfortunately, I can't receive super chats on here because I am not monetized, but we are very close to receiving that number. we only need around 200 more subscribers over here on this channel, and then I'll be able to receive super chats on here. So hopefully that pans out well in the future. I plan to upload more content, but I've been busy trying to adjust to school schedule and just trying to balance everything out with that. But we'll see how that goes. Bring back college creator. I could not disagree with that.
I'll put somebody's gonna put Bishop Sycamore in the game.
Yeah.
Blue Mountain State.
Somebody put Polk County State in there and take them to the promised land.
The Greenville Green Devils. Oh man, yeah, Greenville versus Alabama A&M. What a matchup that'll be.
Well, I was gonna say, speaking of like the NCAA football, do y'all remember in Road to Glory? Do y'all remember Thin to Win, the wide receiver on the Road to Glory? Do y'all remember him?
No, I don't remember that.
Did y'all ever play Road to Glory on NCAA 14?
I did, but I don't remember what you're. I don't know what you're.
What position did y'all play? Did y'all play quarterback, of course, or did y'all play like running back?
I think the only time I did it was I did wide receiver.
Oh well, see, I was gonna say if you play quarterback, then you would know like the wide receivers' names are Thin to Win, Gio Saria, Michael Westbecker, tight end.
Nice.
And then there was like a bunch of them. I used to remember like the entire offense, and it was kind of funny. And then like if you played as like a running back or a wide receiver, then your quarterback's name would be Steve Merka, like Merka. And I was like, that's one of the weirdest names ever. But yeah, one of my favorite targets to throw to when I was a quarterback in the NCAA 14 dynasty was Thin to Win. It was funny enough. All those players are named after developers on the NCAA 14 team. So yeah, all those people's names are developers.
But yeah, I know personally. I think the game, what EA should just do, in my opinion, they should basically just copy and paste NCAA 14 with better graphics and update the rosters and everything, and like literally. Everybody will be happy with that. Literally, everybody has been saying like we'd literally be fine if they just copy and pasted NCAA 14 and just made it that game.
Well, apparently, here's the other thing: they're apparently going to have FCS programs in it. So,
oh yeah.
Well, yeah, I've said this about a lot of games, and it reigns true specifically to NCAA as well. A lot of people think nowadays that you need to have. That time I did not remove Lucas. He just kind of did that on his own. But a lot of people think nowadays that you need to have really good graphics to create a really good game. Specifically because Lucas, you good?
Yeah, I pulled a Julio.
Yeah.
Accidentally hit the leave button on accident.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened. I guess it actually hit the X. I accidentally hit leave studio or something.
It happens. Anyway, you interrupted me. Not really. But yeah, a lot of people think nowadays that you need like incredible graphics, like 4K graphics to have a good game. People don't realize what games are like, 20-something years ago when, we had like the old like Doom games and everything like that. And I mean, the graphics were horrid, but it was a great game. It was a fun game. It was something that you could sit down and play and not have to worry about, oh man, the graphics got to be 8K or I'm not playing it. No, I think what Lucas said, if they just had the NCAA game with some added features, updated graphics, that's a great game right there. I hope they go above and beyond and kind of create, a completely new game, but kind of keep the same fundamentals as they had in NCAA 14. But if they turn it into a carbon copy of Madden, I will literally never trust EA to make a good game again.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite game series, I mean, it has good graphics. I mean, but compared to like a lot of other series, I would say the graphics are probably not as good. I mean, they're still good graphics, don't get me wrong, but they're definitely not on the like if you're going to compare them to like other AAA games, they're not. It's the Yakuza series. And like I said, it's just a game about the Japanese mafia, the Yakuza, but
I've heard of
it's a
that.
funny game and everything. It's such a weird game. I don't want to go into it because if I try to explain in the game on here, I would sound like I'm smoking crack.
Right. Just
So I'm not.
what are
I'm
you
not
getting
gonna.
at?
I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna explain the story because if I try to explain the story, it sounds like I'm smoking
Right.
crack. Like
Okay.
you have to play it.
Okay. Let's see. I got to answer this question from Mr. Third and Nate. What's worse, losing to your rivals for 20 years straight or losing in the Natty 5 years in a row? Well, it depends. Are you saying we lose to all of our rivals or just one? Because if we lose to just one, like, if we lose to Alabama like 20 years in a row, I mean, obviously that sucks. But if we're sitting there at 11-1, we're still playing it for the playoffs. You can potentially play for a natty, you know. But if it's so it is all the right, well, then no question, yeah, it's losing in the natty 5 years in a row. Because I mean, you made the national championship. Only one team is better than you. That's a whole lot better than going 9-3 and then losing to all of your rivals. That would suck. That's a no debate there. I'm sure you guys can agree with me on that.
Yeah, I mean, heck,
Yeah.
Tennessee practically did that anyway, so we know what it feels like.
Well, they lost to a
practically
lot
go through
more
that.
than our. They lost to a lot more. Georgia State ain't a rival, so
Oh, I mean, I know, but I'm talking like like what people would consider like our big three rivals would probably be, or at least the fan base would probably be what, Alabama, Georgia, Florida,
Yeah.
and then
Vandy
of course, I mean,
and
I guess you can
Kentucky.
count Vandy in, but
Well, all the traditional rivals, there are at least three: Bama,
yeah,
Vandy, and Kentucky. You lose to all. If losing to Vandy every single year, hold up.
I
I
mean,
gotta
yeah, I
go.
mean, heck, we did lose to Vandy for 3 straight years. At one point, I wanted to kill myself.
Yeah, that was the worst time to be a Tennessee fan.
Well, okay, yeah. Um, I'll keep mentioning this.
Going to be at least 6-1.
Yeah.
Vandy is going to be at least 6-1.
We had to hear that when Vandy was going 2-10. Imagine if they beat Tennessee. I mean, I couldn't handle that. So
Yeah, Jared, he would be
20 years in a
unsufferable.
row.
I already know, Jared, if Vandy was going to go like 1-11, which is basically a norm for them, is 1-11, they would want that one win to be against, of course, Tennessee.
You're talking about a Super Bowl season right there.
Yeah.
That's greatest year for Vanderbilt all time right there.
But yeah,
Of course, if that were to happen, Tennessee would be like 11-0 going into that game.
yeah.
Probably.
But yeah, Third and Nate saying that the Texas-Tennessee rivalry incoming. I've been preaching that ever since like Texas was announced to the SEC. I want Tennessee and Texas to become a rivalry so bad because literally it's the perfect name, Battle for the Real UT. Like it's the perfect name. Like come on.
Well, unlike our little brother Texas, we don't get butt hurt over hand signals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Julio.
Is the Big 12 administration watching? I hope so.
Come on, Julio. Give us the horns down.
Yeah. Hopefully the Big 12. Yeah, that's still so ridiculous. They had to make the student section remove the shirts. The coaches like don't do that. That's disrespectful. Like, why do they care so much? I don't understand. And it's the fact that the Big 12 is kind of sitting there sucking on Texas's thumbs. That's going to make it so difficult for them to adjust to the SEC because they don't care.
Well, it's like for some, like someone said before, why was the Big 12 like going so hard for Texas? They're about to leave.
I couldn't tell you. I legitimately could not tell you. All right. Well, if anybody doesn't have anything else to say, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here. I do have some work to take care of other than what I've done on here. And I know the shows have been pretty short lately, but maybe in the near distant future, we can start putting up the StreamYard link. And we can have people come in here and talk about, beep, beep, boo, boo, bop or whatever. So expect that to happen in the distant future. I'm thinking maybe next week's show we're going to start doing that. We're going to start dropping the link in the chat, and so the people can come in here and give their thoughts on whatever hoo-ha they want to talk about.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to wrap it up for tonight, fellas. I think we're going to go ahead and say bye-bye to the people. So any finalizing words you want to tell to the crews and the peoples that are watching this right now?
Go Balls. There you go. That's all I got to say.
Yep. Go Vols and WWE champion, baby.
Short, sweet, and to the point. I like it. Well, thank you guys again for watching. And as always, make sure you support Squidtard Sports. We do the show every single Monday, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You do not want to miss out on the next episode. I have no idea what we'll talk about. Probably more of what we have been talking about: basketball, baseball, softball, and maybe even some hockey too. We'll talk about everything Vol related on here, sports related. And I'm going to try and upload some more content in the future. And as always, make sure you support our boys, Mr. Lucas Sharp and Julio Rodriguez on Twitter as well, if you can. That'd be greatly appreciated. So until the next stream, we'll see you guys later. As always, of course, power to Tardaria, but more importantly, over here on this show, go Vols, baby. Woo!